And good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 149 of New York Red Bulls Discussion Group, the podcast. I'm Gary Redmond, one of your hosts for this evening. Glad to see you. Greetings and salutations. So, it was a very wild weekend at the Cathedral. That's putting it mildly. Of course, myself and I, so Nick and I are going to basically talk about the rundown about what happened, what went wrong, what didn't happen, and what was supposed to happen, of course, in that game between the New York Red Bulls and Minnesota United FC. And when we're done after the second half of the break, the guys are going off to the West Coast. In this case, they're going to Silicon Valley over to PayPal Park and take on the San Jose Earthquakes. And we're going to give you a nice little preview for that there. Now, of course, Gotham FC did not play this weekend. They'll be playing next weekend, of course. New York Red Bull 2 did play against FC Cincinnati 2. And we're going to break down what happened on that game over at MSU Soccer Park. Now, of course, as always, you can catch the live show right now, which is the live stream. And if you can't, if you miss it, no big deal. You can always catch the recordings on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, X, and of course, formerly Twitter, and of course, our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. All of our episodes are uploaded fresh right out the oven. Up there the very next day. And if you have any questions or comments about the show, our guests, the podcast, anything in particular, please shoot us an email. We love to read them, and of course, in case we like to read them on air. So by all means, here's our email address, NYRBDG the podcast at gmail.com. That's NYRBDG the podcast at gmail.com. So we've been getting a lot of emails, especially from the game on Saturday, and of course we love to read them, and of course whatever your thoughts are, even after the show ends, feel free to drop a line. We love to hear them. And of course, last but not least, well, let's see, it was a perfect game, everything going crazy, and then of course the boys scored first, but then something crazy, strange, and weird and controversial happened pretty much at the end of the game. A lot of folks were pretty peeved. I don't know what they were actually peeved about with the team or in particular, well, the referee. And of course, we're going to talk about that in just 1 second. But before we do, one last thing. Well, we did win the weekend. Although we did not lose the game, we did not win the game, we did win the weekend. City lost to Montreal by a score of 1-0. We wound up with a draw, 2-2. So you know what that means, boys and girls. It's only one thing that happens, of course, every time we happen to win the weekend, and here it is, loud and clear, the horn. So, as they say, blow that horn. There you go. And so with that said, let's begin. Of course, here we have my good friend here, Nick Lianos, and I have to start off with a very simple question before anything, your thoughts before the match. What was your thought process before kickoff? And this is something, we want to start right there. Were you thinking win, loss, or just about hopefully that the team didn't screw up here?
After watching their performance in Toronto, which was quite embarrassing, to say that it wasn't the best performance.
I believe one of our members referred them as bums, but go ahead.
I didn't expect them to win this game. Actually, I like Minnesota the way they were playing, and they saw that what they just did to Houston. It wasn't even close. They just won by 3 in the second half. Even though they were missing a couple of players due to the internationals, I didn't think it was a great matchup for us. I was wrong the first 10 minutes because we came out firing. Triple back made our team much better. We came out firing, and then we did their usual stuff. Started ball watching.
Let's talk about that usual stuff, because it seems to be there's a pattern, and I brought this up during with the coach in the post game, which you guys are going to be hearing about that in about a minute. I mentioned this to him during what do you do with these half and half games, right? These guys haven't played a full 90-minute game in quite a while. They'll start off great, fade in the second half. They start out slow, in the second, so in the first half, come up like gangbusters. In the second half, and generally by that time it's too late. So I guess the question that I had for Sandro was, okay, how do you tell the group? How do you tell the team? Okay, we can't have this. Okay, it's the second half of the season. It's time to put some points. And although we are in playoff position at the moment, we can be so much better if we just simply start putting together some solid performances and just keep it running. But for now, all I'm seeing here is a team that's just like to play halftime football, and you can't get that. That doesn't work, Nick, at all.
Not at all. I think the two best games was during the winning streak. We beat DC, which DC was banged up, but we abused DC. DC had nothing in that second half. They had nothing. We won that game, and what do we follow up with? We followed up with another. We came back in home. We won another one. We're up to those two games were our best 180 minutes of complete football, and then we get
and that's it.
And then we get 20 minutes here, 15 minutes here,
30 minutes here,
30 minutes here. Like the second half against Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota was sitting back, kind of hitting five guys in the back. But Minnesota was running out, was dead. They're tired because we had them running around so much in that second half. And we just couldn't score. If we were getting good chances, we just couldn't finish it off. We were doing everything but putting the ball in the back of the net to take the lead. So the other idiot that that didn't bother to call those two penalties made it harder for us to score. But we'll get to that in a little bit later about the game. But listen, we got to put a complete performance. Now we get another run of games again. We got San Jose away. We got two Philly games back to back.
Yep.
After those two Philly games, we have a midweek game against New England, and then of course, who's coming in? Messi again. So we have
who he and his mates are kind of ticked off that they were escorted off the world stage by one of his former clubs that he played with.
So we got like 6 games in 18 days coming up after July 15th.
That's not as bad as the last time when it was just an endless road of games for the entire month. It was like, what was it?
It's 3 on the road, 3 at home. So we go before we start the nice cash grab tournament, but we'll get to that a couple weeks down the line. But we got to get to Minnesota and Toronto first. Go for those two. As I said, this week was a couple. I was telling a couple of my friends, this week was a little good. People Motang and Cal Duncan, very good this week. A couple of the bad are into the list, but they'll throw it again. And the others are
yeah.
That was good.
We'll get to your ratings after the recap. Speaking of, the game pretty much started as it was described by Nick, but then things got crazy toward the end. Here is the recap in all its entirety.
Minnesota United and the Red Bulls. Not often they connect, but it's an inter-conference showdown with a lot of intrigue.
Sofo, Carbascio.
Forsberg. Lead for Goma. First big chance of the game going the Red Bulls' way.
He's always going to find those runners. What a great ball this is for Goma. Very close, onside or offside. Choupo-Moting, I would have preferred him going straight in that 6-yard box to maybe get on the end of this. Instead, he takes a position closer to
5 assists from his left back role. Sofo open on the backstick side, and he forces it in on Spiel.
Comes a long way to this back post. I like the first touch here from Sofo. Great first touch. Difficult.
79 assists in his MLS career for Gressel. There are 6 active players, Lloyd, 75 assists or more. I wasn't saying I was going to ask you. Oh, Choupo-Moting makes the nice move. Tumbles over. Forsberg finishes the job. The need for Swede. Emil Forsberg gives the Red Bulls a 1-0 lead after 11 minutes.
To Emil Forsberg. 1-0 Red Bulls. Great work from Choupo-Moting.
Sparrow, Pereira for Yeboah. Kelvin Yeboah.
Look at this little flick over Carballo, and then the little disguise on the pass. Yeboah wiggles.
Coming on the first half substitution for Minnesota United. Long throw from Boxall. Oh, Marcanic!
It's happened so many times this season. Here's the flick on. He's got time to bring it down off the chest. Simply, the staggered lines are there this time. It's not much space at all.
There's Donkor. Ghanaian for Duncan.
Oh.
Choupo-Moting! What a stop, Smur! It's a collision and Choupo-Moting is down. The Netcam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile.
There he gets to the ball. He saves the goal there, Jefferson Diaz. And he does get to Choupo-Moting.
23 in a couple of weeks. Mohamed Sofo. Pockets for Choupo-Moting. Grinding gears, and the second ball out on the clearance. Stroud!
From Red Bulls, from out here with Sofo. Peter Stroud follows it up well. His enthusiasm to get onto that. Always going wide though, that strike.
Valencia up for Ayla. They've scored off that play before. That's how Ayla got his goal against Montreal, but he's called for the foul here. Songbin. DJ Taylor. And the header, Marcanic goes off the crossbar. The Bulls have done a lot of their scoring damage this year in first halves. Solving this Minnesota equation is not easy. Bogac, Choupo-Moting, Smur comes off the line. Makes a clutch intervention. It's Sofo, Mohamed Sofo.
Big from Smur coming out.
Red Bulls corner though here in the 81st. Forsberg. Pinball effect. And then it's floated by Krzyzewski Hall. Hack hanging it up. Padelford's clearance to Hall. Duncan. Choupo-Moting!
Gets there first, gets it past Smith. It's actually controlled really well. That is not easy to...
Sofo scrapes it out. And Forsberg, who wants to get on the break, but the full-time whistle comes.
Oh, wow.
Sandro Schwartz.
And there you go. Sandro received a red card at that very moment for running out on the field. Some say deservedly so. You're really not supposed to do that, but the final score naturally is, as you can see, New York Red Bulls 2, Minnesota United FC 2, Forsberg and Moting with Choupo-Moting with his goal, Yeboah and Marcanic, of course, with theirs. The first goal that came in really annoyed everyone. The second goal by Marcanic, oh my goodness, somebody fell asleep back there. I mean, I couldn't believe the relative ease on that second goal, Nick.
That was I never seen five guys just staring into space. Just staring into space. Ball bounce got thrown over Choupo's head between four guys, and Felipe Carballo just didn't bother looking.
Is it safe to say that he mailed it in at that?
That's what I heard. I said that he mailed in the performance the last 2 weeks, and thank you for your playoff goals. You won't be missed.
Thanks to stage one. Of course, there's some notes here. Of course, Forsberg scored his 6th goal of the season, his 15th in his career with New York. Choupo-Moting, he's got 11 goals now, which is tied for Divan Joveljic, Hugo Cypers, Evander and Kevin Denke for third most in the league. He's climbing there. Choupo-Moting has tallied his second assist of the season, his fifth goal contribution his last 4 appearances. Defender Sean Nealis made his 150th MLS appearance, becoming the 7th player in franchise history to meet that milestone. Nealis also made his 175th appearance across all competitions for the club. Congrats. Which also ties in with former center back Aaron Ray Long for second place in franchise history for most appearances across all competitions for a defender. Duncan, you got 2 assists, Nick. 2, okay? Tallied the second and third assists of the season. He also dished his 18th and 19th career assists, surpassing guess who? For most assists by defender across all competitions in franchise history. This one you should know. Guess who?
I should know this. I can't get that one. Definitely not Tolkien, that's for sure.
Yeah, bingo! You nailed it. John Tolkien, John Tolkien, for most assists for a defender across all competitions and franchise history. So now, the Red Bulls now have 29 points. Okay, but before we even get to that point, remember that little part right there you saw at the end of the recap that Sandro dashed like a madman on the pitch to confront the referee? Well, he had his thoughts in the post-game presser, and here they are.
Hey, Coach, could you tell us a little bit about what you told the ref after the match?
I wanted to tell him that was a great performance of him. It was such a great performance for the stoppage time, was such a great performance from the penalty situation. It's not allowed to criticize the referee, so then I want to say, great performance of him. It was, I have never seen this before, so it was great.
Well, okay.
Sandro, we know that you'll be suspended in San Jose next week, and it'll be the second game in a few weeks that you will be suspended. Do you feel any responsibility to your players at all to not be suspended, or are you happy with the way that you stood up for your players at the end of the game?
That's I know that now I have the red card. It's not good that I'm not on the touchline, and but it's not so easy, to be honest. When you are a little bit emotional, it's not so easy then to handle the emotions, and when you see a lot of things. And for me, it's not the problem, to be honest. For me, it's not the problem that someone is doing a mistake. I'm doing a lot of mistakes. That's not a problem. And then you can criticize me because this is my responsibility for the whole group to getting the results for the whole organization. If I don't take the results with my group, you can criticize me. It's no problem. It's no problem. When the players not doing very well, then I criticize our players. But in that game, it has also to be allowed to criticize sometimes the referee when they are not doing a good performance. And I'm talking about 4 minutes, and I don't want to talk about that, but I have to talk. It's not possible to say nothing. It's not possible. When my son is something doing, I have also to say something. So, and 4 minutes stoppage time. After 4 minutes, before they got the corner, it was not a foul. It was not a foul from Emil. Then they got the set pieces, the corner, after 4 minutes. So we solved the situation. After that, second phase, clear chance of Minnesota. We solved the situation, and then we have transition, and then we stop it. Come on, guys. How can you say nothing about that? How can you? This is not possible. When you are fighting for the group, when you are fighting, it's not possible to say nothing. This is not possible. So, and this is what we have to learn. And also, what we have to learn is to ask someone about the performance of the referee. Because this is normal, this is professional. When someone is not good, then we have to say something. This is normal, and this is not. I don't criticize someone in person. So, but of his job, I have also to do my job, and it's not good for sure. It's not good. The red card is not good then because I have the responsibility for the group. I'm not on the touching line next Saturday, but it's not possible to say nothing. I can't do that. Sorry for that. Sorry. And and I will get an email on Monday, I'm pretty sure. I have to answer. Okay, I will do that. And then I miss hopefully only one game because I said nothing. I said nothing to the referee when I got the red card. I was very quick. I was very fast. I was also surprised that I'm so fast, to be honest. But I said nothing. I said nothing. And directly red card. No, come on, guys. When I'm doing a big mistake, I'm the first one to say sorry for my behavior, for everything. But in that case, I can't say sorry. I can't say.
All right, your thoughts. I mean, Tom put, I think the nail on the head for a coach like this. He's got to learn how to control himself because he's not helping himself. He's not helping his cause
The
by
reaction
getting caught, being caught. But I think,
Tom
go
is
ahead.
right. Tom is right on that part. He must control his emotions. He is right on that. On the field, running at the official is not a great look. The
No.
post-game comments, he's
No.
100% right.
Yeah.
The referees,
Not just right, justified. I mean,
yeah, he's 100% justified and right for what he said. Referees are professionals as well as we are, as the game. You cannot have 22 guys playing as professionals and have a guy who's out there clueless. It's a bad look for the league. It's a bad look for the players. Players should never accept this. It's the wrong thing. He did not know the rules. The guy got kicked, and Chupo got kicked in the head, and you let it play out.
and you let it play out.
Play out.
That was galling. That was absolutely galling to me. I was like, what? Wait a minute.
I will give you the first one on Emil Forsberg because he was allowing a lot of physical play.
Yes, it was.
I will give you the first one because you say it's physical play, and even though the guy did throw out an elbow, which looked like he was clear to me because I was sitting right in the South Ward, and I thought it was an obvious foul. But again, I'll let you slide. A kick to the head is a high boot. I am sorry. Where's where a yellow no matter what, B a penalty, and C if you go into VAR, even though he deflected the ball, it's still a penalty. You kicked him.
It's a foul.
It's a foul. What are you waiting for? Why wasn't there? And I'm not going to go crazy on the ref.
Stevie Wonder could see there was a foul. Okay, the whole building. So was like, okay,
what is VAR doing?
Right. That was. I mean,
that's the second question. Guys, hello.
I'm hoping that maybe he didn't. I'm hoping he didn't ignore VAR. Said, I got this. They'll take care of it. Something like that. But somebody should have been. Somebody saw the same replays we did. We saw boot to face. So someone needs to explain that one to me. Really.
And then the ending. Carlos Cano wrote it on somebody's. I wrote it out clearly as could be. If this was Messi on a 3-on-2 breakaway the other way, does that ref blow the play dead?
Probably not.
So, well, if you can't keep the clock correct, which you didn't do the first time,
39 seconds,
and you have a clear as day chance because Bogarts was free, and it was Emil Bogarts, I think Hall going the other direction.
Bogarts was wide
open. Was wide open in the middle of the park, and you're at midfield already. He blew the play dead in midfield. What are you doing? It's a 3-on-2 break. Let him go. You get a winner. Your game.
People lost their mind.
You pay money to see a winning, a winner on the field. I'll tell you, whatever you get it. You want to see somebody win and somebody lose. Ref, let the play out. You already messed up the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You messed up. Let it play out. If we don't score, we don't score. But let it play out. It's bad refereeing. It's bad on. You look. Pro looks bad. MLS looks bad for allowing this guy to get on the field. And you just pissed off 20,000 Red Bull fans. Now we're in the stadium, and I think poor kids would probably learn a lot more cursing on this Marvel night for crying out loud. But you cannot have that end the game. That is just horrendous.
There was more swearing and cursing and pointing and getting mad. I mean, by both fan bases. I mean, not only by the New York Red Bulls, but for the small contingent of Minnesota United FC fans who I give my heart to and I give my props to for making the trip. They were wondering what the heck what the heck just happened. So it just, it was a kind of, well, one thing is for certain. Come next week, when they make the trip to San Jose, Schwartz will not be there. He will not be on the touchline. And the question will be, Nick, will it be just one game or will it be a lengthy suspension? Because he got suspended not too long ago before when he was told to take a hike against Austin FC, and now 1 game later he gets another red card. It's a bad look either way, but I don't think something is going to be mitigated just because you were ticked off that the whistle blew a little bit too 30 seconds too soon. Your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said in our group chat, I think Sandro's going to get a couple of games more than
Yeah.
you're probably looking at a 3 to 4 game suspension. He did just get like he just took a yellow card suspension. He did come right. It's a bad look for him to come right out, and the ref gave him a straight red. They didn't give him a yellow card; they gave him a straight red.
No,
So
straight up red. No
yeah,
yellow card. Just said,
yeah.
what
So
are you doing here? Here,
so
get out of
he
my face and take this
so
red
he
card
is
with you.
so he is going to get like have a league meeting, have a discussion. It's one of those type of deals. Does he warrant a? Unfortunate. Like my view is the league is going to say you can't do that to the ref. You don't want to intimidate the ref, so you might come down hard on them. It might. They might do it because it's a bad look. Was he right? Yes. Is it great?
I think
No.
that's the one thing. I think that's the one thing that's going to save him because they're going to look at those two plays and go, "Well, wait a minute. Why wasn't one of these things called?" I mean, there's no way they're going to sweep that under the rug and then go, "Okay, well, Sandro he needs to disappear for about 4 games. So, he can be mad all he wants, but it is what it is." No, no,
As long as he's not suspended for the cup game, I don't know if the league.
different competition.
But yeah, as long as he's not suspended for the cup game, I'd rather have him be 2 games, 2 to 3 games, and then make sure he's on the sideline for the cup game. I want him there because only that's more important at this point in the season because it's a quarterfinal game and we need to beat Philly for once in our lives.
All right. Well, I've seen your marks before we, as I say, before we move on. I've seen your high marks. I've seen your low marks. I'll just simply, put it, before we end this segment. Game balls. Who's getting the game? Since the game ended in the draw, who gets one for Minnie? Who gets one for New York?
I think the backup goalie actually was good. I gave him when he came in. He actually made a couple of big saves for them. So the 2 goals that he gave up was not his fault. Give him the 1 goal he gave up was not his fault. He did play well. I'll give that guy the game ball. And Duncan, to me, was the player of the game. 2 assists. Was all over the place. He had 5 chances in the game. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a. It was. Everybody's thinking about the typical Duncan performance: the bad, the good, the good, the bad. He was solid all around. It was a solid all around. The game of Toronto was pretty much.
There was nothing for people to harp on that game. He was solid.
It was solid all around. Defense was fine, making plays. I looked at a couple of websites that mark every game. He had 9.8 markings, a couple of high 9s, a couple of 9.5s.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think it was. And I looked at the numbers. He had 4 interceptions, 5 created chances, 7 duels won, and 6 dribbles won.
He put in work.
Yeah. He's the player of the game to me.
He put in work. All right, we'll close the door, thankfully, on this match, and we'll wait to see what happens with Sandro when it's all said. And I'm sure we're going to hear it before the press conference will take place on Wednesday. Well, we're going to take ourselves a break. There was a lot of games played, of course. Red Bulls weren't the only one. When we return, good friend Nick here is going to talk to you about San Jose, the Earthquakes, and why this match could be very significant for this team down the road. Be back in 30 seconds. So after the 4th of July, the fireworks was all done and dusted, and Whoever isn't blown their hand off when it's all said and done, the Red Bulls will be over in the West Coast. In this case, will be Silicon Valley against, of course, the San Jose Earthquakes. Now, it's been a while since it's going to be a late night game, 10:30 kickoff time. Head to head all time, 17, 18, and 10. And San Jose, well, they don't win very game much. 6-13 and 3. It's their 43rd regular season, meaning last time they beat them was way back in 2022. It was a 3-1 road win for the Red Bulls. One of the goal scorers was our old friend, of course, Barlow. You all remember him. And so,
that was opening day 3 years ago.
Correct, right. The last time we faced them. So since then, they've been making a lot of noise. They lost one of their marquee coaches, but they've rebounded very nicely last I saw. So, Nick, tell the good people about what's going on with San Jose.
San Jose is in the sixth place in the Western Conference with 27 points, a record of 7 wins, 7 losses, and 6 ties. Coached by the infamous Bruce Arena, who is now taking over the team. They went from the wooden spoon of last year of 21 points. They already got 27. So he's actually made quite a big difference. They brought in Joseph Martinez, the old guy from Montreal, Atlanta. He's got 8 goals and 1 assist. Free agent pickup. They made a trade for Christian Arroyo. He's got 10 goals and 3 assists from RSL. Real. Why would you sell this guy when all he's done is score goals? That's going this time. He scored. He got 10 goals and 3 assists for San Jose. And when
Even a better question: why didn't we sign him?
And different story. In Real Salt Lake, he had 17 goals in 34 games. What are we doing? What's going on here? Christian Espinoza is their playmaker. 12 goals, 11 assists. That's the playmaker. That's what they got. And remember we discussed it when we discussed New England.
Mm-hmm.
Both these teams made a 12-player deal, sending everybody going which direction. San Jose got Mark Anthony Carey, Ian Hartz, Nick Lima, and Juwan Jones as part of the main acquisitions of trade over there.
None of those guys are scrubs, by the way.
They're all former U.S. national players, the Canadian international. They got players that can ball and that knows Bruce's system real well. They've been hot and cold. This team has been started off with 2 wins to start the season, then they lost 5 in a row. Then they won 2 in a row, then they lost 3 in a row. Three games winless in 3. The last 10. They have 1 loss in the last 10, 4 wins and 5 draws. They've done well in their schedule. They're pretty good at home. They tied Miami, so it's not like they're a bad team. They give up a lot of goals too. So we're looking at the defense is a little shady. I don't trust their goaltender, but they got scorers. They got 28 goals from the top 4 guys. They can put the ball in the back of the net. If you fall asleep, like we keep doing, we're gonna eat it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that I look at that assessment and I say to myself, wait a second, okay, you have a team that scores a lot of goals, yet gives up a lot of goals, and you got a team that doesn't score very much, but yet gives up a lot of goals. It depends on how the Red Bulls are going to really, approach this. I mean, they know they have to win this game. Okay, their last road victory, of course, was versus DC, which I was there. For all intents and purposes, and they need to start packing in points. This is a stiff test, just like they did, with another Western Conference team, Nick. But for all intents and purposes, look. Enough with the funny stuff. They need to really have a solid performance against this squad from start to finish. You agree?
Yes, they need to put in a 90-minute performance. Here's the kicker. The question that's going to be for what we got to figure out is because it is 3 games before the U.S. Open quarterfinal game.
That's right.
Philly, on the road. So.
Yeah, when they're done, they got to go all the way back east.
How do you play
for a midweek game?
Do you play this all your regulars, or do you play this mixed bag? Remember, we just lost. We're down Harper. We're down for the year. Morgan popped uh,
MIA.
popped the quad muscle in Toronto. Edelman hurt his neck. Bogas looks like he's okay from the concussion he got. So that's a good sign. Uh, we still have missing. Morales still hasn't made his debut yet. He's been cleared.
Nope.
Dylan Nicholas is on his way. Might be back. Could be back. Who knows what he's going to do? And then you still got to figure out what are you going to do all the way out there. There is. Do you play the bench and rest the guys for Philly? Remember, in the U.S. Cup game, there's only 18 players. You start your 11, you have 7 guys on your bench, and 1 is in your goalie. So you really don't have a lot of bench to play with.
Mm-mm.
So this is a game we have to win. You play all the kids and go for it, and then see what happens. Because remember, you got 2 back to back in Philly.
Yeah, I mean do you put all your eggs in a basket, for an Open Cup game, knowing that from that point on you got 2 wins, to win it all, or do you go, you're running the mill, and deal what you got to deal here. I don't know. My gut feeling is telling me sacrifice this game. I mean, honestly, if the fans were a little strang, about losing a road game that you needed to win, but which takes place, regular season or U.S. Open Cup? I know what the fans are going to scream about, U.S. Open Cup. You're going down to a place where you haven't won a single game down here since 2018. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but going down to Chester is no joke. Okay, those Philly boys, they know how to handle their business in front of their crowds, and and the Union have no trouble housing the Red Bulls. Before that, they got to deal with Bruce, who, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was something with the organization back in the days when he was the head coach of the Metro Stars back in the days. But it's like every time we face Bruce Arena, he always want to twist the knife. So he wants to show how he's still the big man. He's one of our most winningest coaches in the nation. Okay, he was the head of the U.S. national team. He got his boys about as far as they are. So he's got the credentials and and the cachet to go with it. But every time we face the Bruce, it's always an L. Whatever either with L.A. Galaxy or even with New England Revolution, always an L. I mean, it never ends with this guy. So as much as I like to wipe the smirk off his face.
Yeah, it's Bruce Arena. It's a tough game. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
He plays the same system. He plays the same way.
Doesn't budge. And he's very good at it, too.
He knows how to work it in the MLS. He knows how to get it. You know what you're getting. And he's been consistent at it for how long now? Through DC, through
years.
LA, through New England. He came back and made New England. He put New England back to first place, and it didn't fall apart for him with whatever he did over there.
Well, he got chased out of that organization, which is kind of a head scratcher to me. Why? What happened over there?
We still haven't found out. And then he's got already. Remember, San Jose has been the wooden spoon for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
they got 27 points. They already got more points than they had last year. So if I'm rooting for the
blue and black brigade, I'm over the moon, man. I'm like, 27 points, yay! And they have to be first, but this is good.
Wait until they invest. They haven't invested yet. They're going to invest money into the team. They really didn't do anything. They just bought Arango. They only bought Arango so far. Martinez is a free
I believe that the current owner who that guy man, he's the most hated. In baseball, he's the most hated man out there. But he's looking to sell the franchise. He's looking to get out of MLS and he wants to go all in on the Oakland A's. John Fisher. He wants to sell the franchise. So Maybe they'll, I believe they actually have found some people, so we'll see what happens from there. Kickoff, of course, is at 10:30 at night. Who has the game thread for that game? I believe. Yep, Milton Solis will be your game thread host. Speaking of which, okay, Gotham didn't play this week, unfortunately. They will be playing next week, but the New York Red Bull 2 did play, and it was a wild one over at MSU Soccer Park. It was also very warm. Final score there, of course, 3-3. Benedetti, Bogarts, and of course Hall with a penalty kick. Igoba, Mosquera, and of course Jarvis with the own goal. Thanks a lot for that. And then went into
shootout.
The penalty kick went to a shootout. It's very different here. 5-3, in penalty kicks. And so that was the end of that. Of course, one thing about New York Red Bull 2 is that Benedetti scored his 6th goal of the season, and he extended his goal streak to 5 consecutive matches. Benedetti has 6 goals of the season. He's tied with teammate Tana Rosbro. That's becoming to be a nice combination there, Nick, for most goals in MLS Next Pro. Bogarts, he scored his 2nd goal of the season for Red Bulls 2. Scoring back-to-back appearances. Every time he shows up, he scores a goal. He's getting there. Bogarts scored also his 2nd assist for the season for the team. Hall, he got his 3rd goal for the New York Red Bulls 2 this season. He scored a goal in 3 out of the last 4 appearances for New York Red Bull 2. Keep an eye on him while you can, because it seems that Barcelona's got their fingers on him. So
get a passport so he can go.
Yeah, that's all he needs. Dennis Yengar, well, he made his MLS Next Pro debut, and you're probably wondering why Dennis Yengar and Roland Mitchell, they need to stretch their legs to get some trigger time in between. Remember, Dennis had nothing else better to do, so that's basically all he is. Roland Mitchell made his first appearance of the season. First appearance is April 14, 2024. Returned to a knee injury. Hope it stays that way as he entered as a substitute in the 68th minute. Nate Worth made his MLS Next Pro debut, coming in the 81st minute. Stokes made 5 saves on night, which is the 2nd most saves he's made in a match of his career, and the most he's made this season. He's got 34 saves in the season, 5th most in the Eastern Conference. And, of course, with the draw, the Red Bulls tallied their unbeaten streak to 7 matches, and it's the 3rd longest unbeaten streak in club history as they maintain their lead in first place in the Eastern Conference, which is pretty good. Their next game, of course, will take place. Let's see. Hold on for 1 minute. I shall tell you who's playing what and where.
They're at home.
They're at home. Thank you.
I think they're at home.
Hang on 1 second. Yes, thank you. They're home versus Huntsville City. That's going to be a quite matchup. Those two guys, they try and fight neck and neck for the top spot. Gotham FC, they're on the road this Friday. They'll be on the road. You won't be seeing them until August 1st. Playing against the Chicago Stars. Red Bulls against San Jose. The women, of course, we got Guatemala, USA men's national team. They're in the semis for the Gold Cup, taking on Guatemala on Wednesday. The women take on Canada also on July 2nd. So lots of footy for the friends, and for not only for the nation, but also for the local clubs as well. So, with that said, let's talk about predictions, the most dangerous segment of our show. You and I, we thought about this, right? We got the U.S. Open Cup taking place next Wednesday at Chester, correct?
Right.
So, barring the fact that he's going to put his starting lineup with nothing but, bench guys and keep his starters out, keep them fresh and keep them warmed up, I think he's going to go through that trend. We won't know until we speak to him on the press conference on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. So we'll see where his head is at over there. But San Jose is a team that scores a lot, okay? The only wrinkle in that armor, their defense. It doesn't stink, but it does have a tendency to give up late goals. That said, I like the Red Bulls to see if they can able to steal one on the road because they're so near. I'm looking at maybe 3-2 New York. Book it. I'm looking. I'll be the fool this week, but I'm going to say 3-2. Let's book it here. Your thoughts, man?
Are you playing? This is with the kids playing? With Bogarts, Hall, and Serge starting, pretty much going with.
Why not? I mean, they got the. I mean, they ain't. I mean, let's put it this way: they ain't soft. They got moxie. Okay, so as long as their heads are right, as long as their game is right, maybe, just maybe, you know, they can able to bang a goal or two. But then you got to hold their horses because you're going to be facing a tidal wave of goal scorers because they ain't got nothing to lose here. So why not? I mean, why not go for but why not be all in on the one tournament that you have a chance? I hate it when teams put themselves ahead, in games like this, but
I think you have to.
I think you have to. I mean, it's a long season. You have a chance more than any, yeah. But Mark pointed out something this season: 3, 4, and 3 at home. It's San Jose. They're not world beaters. Okay, on the road they're decent. At home, I mean,
They've got a couple. They have a couple of stinkers in there. We lost to Colorado. That's not a good thing.
I mean, they're still. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're in. Believe it or not, they're in a microcosm like us.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the only difference is the Red Bulls have a better home record than San Jose.
Yeah, and they've got 40 goals on the year, so they can score a lot. So, I think we're gonna punt this game and play the kids.
Punt?
Not punt in such a situation that.
I never thought I heard you put it that way. Punt.
It's like it's not a third down punt, but we're going to go for the backups here. Now, I was thinking maybe I thought AJ might have gotten the game in Toronto. Did he get this game, and so he can get ready for the Philly game? That is good. That might be a little interesting too.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. Listen, if he plays the kids like he did, like the RB2 did with Hall, Bogarts, Gengar, and I don't know who's we're going to have in the midfield, but let's play those three at top and figure out on the back line. I think we're going to score. I like what Bogart showed in that 12-minute cameo, him holding off that ball, setting up the chance for Chupo.
Yeah, he's got skills.
You saw him like, excuse me, I'm going through you. I don't care what you got in front of me. I'm going right through you, and he did. Set up that chance. I always like Gengar on the right side.
Yeah,
he stretches the field, and I think he can work well with Hall if you have those three up top. So I think we're going to score. I'm going to go with the 2-1 victory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't forget Raheem, Edwards, Alexander Hack, and Wiki Carmona. He came in later, but they didn't start. They came off the bench, so they should be fresh for this particular match.
We have enough to go out to San Jose with these kids, which they're going to need the playing time because we're going to have this game crunch again. And we're playing so many games. We're playing from Saturday to the end of the month. We're going to play, I think, 7 games again at the end of the month with six of the 8 basically in 18 days. Squish them in. We're going to need to get the whole squad, especially without missing Harper and Lewis. So I think we're going to score. If we have Edelman available for us to clog up the middle, because that's one place we're a little thin now. I like Dunkar. I like what he showed in the second half when he came on for Caballo. He worked the ball around. You saw him retrieve a lot of balls. He was sticking his nose in, grabbing the balls too. I'm grabbing it, taking it away from you. So I like what he saw in that. And with Ferrari too, when he was playing down there, he was playing an advanced role too. So he is a great passer out of the midfield, and we've always seen him level too. So I think we can do enough to get the 2-1 victory. Hopefully, they get out there and come away with 3 points. It's California dreaming. Let's go. Why not? We had this for LA. Let's do it for San Jose. California dreaming. Bring them back 3 points.
All right. We'll see. And with that, that will be, that will take it from there. I mean, this is going to be, quite the week. Anticipating for U.S. Open Cup for next week, of course. Hopefully, we'll have Anthony Merced with us, and he'll definitely put. He's currently in Ireland. That's the reason why we didn't have him tonight. So he's out there with his family and friends out there. He'll be bringing back. Hopefully, he wasn't too drunk after drinking some ale and river dancing and everything else. But he'll be back to drop off, and some hopefully with some more information regarding Timo Werner. They're still having discussions about niggling about their salary. Hopefully iron out. Hopefully we're able to get introduced sometime before the end of the summer break.
And there's another one that they're supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name.
The Swedish player.
Yeah, I heard he was good, very good. They're gonna bring him. Hopefully, they're able to sign him sooner than later. So I'll ask a question about that. I'm not going to ask that with Sandro because he has no idea what's going on. That's more the sporting director's questions than more than anything else, and see what happens from there. And so when you hear that funny little music in the background, it basically means we have reached the end of our show. Always remember that you can always, the live stream, and Nick and I thank you guys for joining us and for this last hour. You can catch the recording on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. X, formerly of Twitter, and of course our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. If you happen to miss the live broadcast, what's happening right now. All of our shows are uploaded on the very next day. Don't forget, Wednesday night is a late night game. 10:30 is the kickoff. Milton Solis will be your thread host, and of course he'll be taking you along the way from that. The usual suspects, Lonray Badmus, and of course Anthony Merced. Hopefully we'll be able to join us, but of course naturally Miguel Nunez will be with you next week. The reason why it was just Nick and I and not Mark is under the weather. We hope he gets well very soon. We miss him out here, and of course we will keep the seat warm until he makes his return. So that's it. 29 points, still in 7th place. Now the thing is, we didn't move up, but we didn't fall behind. That's how tight things is in the Eastern Conference, boys and girls. And this is the reason why Nick and I are sounding the bell. So hey, start putting points together, because it's going to get crazy down the stretch. And it's not going to be a joke. Several points right now. It's like a couple of points between going ahead and literally getting kicked out of the playoffs. That's something you don't want to be in that position.
We don't want to be in that super well for the playoff. That's a good bet.
Nah, don't want that. So that's it for now, boys and girls. Thanks very much for joining us on the last hour. For Nick Lianos, I'm Gary Redmond. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night and goodbye for now.